Alright, check this bike out. This is one I've never worked on before. This is a 1999 WR400. 400cc. This bike has 50 horsepower. Goes about 92 miles an hour top speed. And these were only produced from 1998 to 2000. So for 2 years. So kind of a rare one. I got this bike for $1,400. The previous owner, to-be owner I bought it from, I guess rebuilt the top end at one point, and he put it all back together and it could not get spark. So he replaced, I believe, the stator and the CDI is what the owner told me, and still could not get spark. So the guy I bought it from said he worked on it a little bit and he could not get spark. So he sold it to me for the $1,400. Just kind of gave up on it. So today's goal is going to be to get spark and hopefully get this thing to run and ride here. That's kind of the goal. But this thing's got brand new tires on it, front and rear. Supposedly the top end's rebuilt. We'll have to look into that. Looks like a new seat cover on there. It's got new grips and pro taper bars. One of the plastics right here is kind of snapped in half, so it's covered with a sticker, but it's not horrible. Has the stock exhaust on there, kickstand on there, so it's not a bad looking bike. Headlights still on there. So let's get going on this bike and see if we can figure it out. Should be an interesting one. What do you think of the bike, buddy? Come on, take a look. A little walk around. It's a big bike. Just really checking it out. He's sniffing up by the electrical. He was up by the CDI. Look at him. He's really inspecting this one. Well, what do you think, bud? What do you think? So, let's quick kick it over, see if it has compression. Oh yeah, that thing definitely has compression. That'll break your leg pretty quick. You can see it just stop like halfway down. Yeah, that's crazy compression. We're definitely gonna have to use the lever up here. Well, let's start working on this thing. See if we can get spark. All right, we got the big beast in the garage. Let's start by looking at the air filter here. Oh yeah, looks like a brand new air filter. Looks like a bunch of wiring here too. It's not connected to anything. Huh. That looks like maybe it's all for the lights, maybe, possibly. There's a tail light back here. Yeah, a bunch of wires go to the tail light. But anyway, it looks like a brand new air filter in there. Looks like a twin air filter in there. That's all oiled up. Looks really good. So I'm guessing they put a new air filter in after the top end was rebuilt. You can see. Yeah, it looks like a new base gasket down there. You can see it's green. So maybe they did put a new top end in. We'll check the coolant just for fun. That's a nice radiator on here. There we go. Oh yeah, that's topped off in there. Alright, so it's not leaking or anything. That all looks good. So that must have sucked to get it all back together. Rebuilt it, and then it didn't have spark. That'd be horrible. But something must have gone wrong. So either a ground, maybe the kill switch, something has to be off on it to where it had spark before he rebuilt it, and then after it didn't. So we'll figure it out. I'm guessing you probably have to have this thing started in order to check it, but we'll see if there's any oil in there. Yeah, not a whole lot on the dipstick. So I'm guessing it needs to be pumped throughout the engine and the frame by having the bike started in order to check it. We'll see if there's a window down here for the oil. It does not look like it. We'll check the oil filter later, see if that's brand new. But yeah, no window to check the oil. So I think what we're first going to do is get the gas tank off, get to that spark plug, and see what we're dealing with, and then try to work our way through this wiring to see what's going on. There's actually a fuse right there too. All right, gas tank coming off. Gas tank's really nice on here. Doesn't look like any cracks or anything in the gas tank. Frame looks nice. Really nice. That looks all original, that paint. We'll check and see if it is a 1999 here. So we're looking at the 10th digit on the VIN. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a Y. So let's go see if that's a 1999. So Y is actually a 2000, so it's the last year of these bikes, which is probably even better. So that's cool. But the spark plug's right here. You can see a bunch of this wiring is messed up. These two are just split. What the heck? It looks like maybe that ripped out at one point there. There's a gray and a black and white. I think that was maybe for the kill switch, possibly. We'll see, but this is all taped up too. Huh. The coil is back here. So the coil looks like it's got a ground wire going right here. That's a black wire going into the harness down here and up through here. So we'll have to see where that goes to. So that needs to be grounded out. All right, let's start by getting that plug out. We'll check what that looks like, and then we'll see if this thing has spark. All right, let's get this boot off of here. We'll check the boot right away. Always check the simple stuff first. All right, we'll cut that back a little bit, expose that wire. You can see that wire is a little exposed, but we can cut that back, and now you can see that wire exposed there. See that? Could also be a bad boot. We'll have to check that too. Twist that back on. All right, that spark plug's way down there. There we go. All right, it's got a brand new plug. So it looks like they tried to put a brand new plug in to see if that would make a difference. See if it kicks over smooth without the plug in there. Oh yeah, it's pretty smooth. So we're gonna go connect a couple of the wires, come back, and we'll see if we've got spark here. All right, we got the gray and black plugged into the gray and black over here. We've got the black and white and the black connected there. So let's just see if we get anything off the stand here. I don't see anything. Zero spark. Alright, so I disconnected the plug from the stator going to the CDI box up here. And a lot of times these little wires can pull out, and I see one that's pulled out. The green one right here. See that? I was just moving in there like that. Get a closer zoom in picture here. But you can see that one's pulling out of there. So I don't think that was making contact. I'm going to shove that back in. See, now that prong is making contact. So that was kind of pulled out. Now it's locked in. So we'll reconnect it and see what happens. There's no way it can be that simple, can it? No. Nothing. Nada. I'm just going to disconnect this wire here quick. Nothing. Alright, so I disconnected the kill switch, which is right here. Got the straight black wire and the black and white wire that goes down to here. I disconnected both of them. And then that goes to the CDI, where these wires go into here. So you've got the gray and the black and white going to the CDI. So we disconnected all of them. Let's see if we have spark now. So this is completely bypassing the kill switch here. Come on, let's get some spark. Nothing. Nothing at all. Darn it. Alright, so what we did was disconnect the light blue wire right here. This is going to the CDI. This is actually the neutral switch wire. And on this Yamaha, this particular Yamaha, the neutral switch, when this bike is in neutral, actually limits the spark. So it reduces the spark in neutral for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's a safety thing. Okay. Hopefully we have something. I'm just gonna hold it, just see if... Nothing at all. Alright, we're gonna start with the ignition coil test here. We're gonna do an ohm reading test. So it says that positively we're going to put to the orange wire, which is down here. This comes off. You can see that wire is orange in there. And then there's a black lead right here. So we're gonna go from this peg to the black wire, which is the ground right there. And we should have between 0.2 and 0.3 ohms. So let's do that, just see what we get. Alright, so this peg and this one. You guys can't see because these wires are in the way. 6 ohms right here. 0.5. So it looks like, 0.4. So we are within spec there at 0.4. That's pretty close. Let's see if it drops down to 0.3. Sorry for the beeping. Now it's gonna be stuck at 0.4. So the coil checks out. All right, now we're gonna check the wires coming directly from the stator. This would be the source coil. So this is source coil 1 resistance we're going to be checking. So we're going to check the brown lead and the green lead. So here's the green wire right there, and the brown one is right there. So let's check those. We should be at 640 to 960 ohms. Right here. We're not getting anything. We're not getting any reading here. That's really weird. See, it's not picking up anything. No matter what setting we put it to. I wonder if we're not getting a ground. Alright, so that has no reading. That's not a good sign. Alright, now we're going to check the next reading. We're going to be putting the positive lead on the pink right there, and the negative on the green. And we should be between 464 and 696 ohms. This is the source coil 2. I don't think we're getting anything there either. What the heck? Pink and green. Nothing. Well, that's weird that both coils are fried. Absolutely zero reading. Well, what the heck? That's not good. Alright, so we're hoping maybe a wire's cut underneath here or something weird like that, but we're getting absolutely zero reading from the green, the pink, and the green and the brown. So that tells me something is going on with this stator. Maybe there's like a bunch of metal on it or something. Hopefully the bottom end isn't blown. That would suck. Alright, cover's coming off here. Supposedly there's a new stator in here. So maybe he didn't install it correctly. There is some metal. You can see some shavings attached to the pickup coil right here. That's red. The red wire is the pickup coil. Maybe that's grounding out somewhere. So I think we're going to take off the flywheel here. Take a closer look. That nut is really weird on here. It looks like it's got a double nut. Case. Yeah, so it's got a double nut. What the heck? Uh-oh. What is happening here? Is that not spinning? What the heck? Is the nut stripped or is... Huh. Well, that's not good. That nut's not coming off. It's just spinning. Let's see what happens when I kick it over. Is it even spinning here? But that nut is not coming off, so I don't even know how you get that off of there. Yeah, it's not coming off. It's not like you can pull it off either. We've got our puller on here. We're gonna see if we can pull off the flywheel with the nut still on there. At least a little bit, get this thing started. It's coming now. Okay. That kind of worked. At least it moved a little bit. So hopefully it pulled that out enough to where that nut spin freely. It's kind of what we're hoping. Yeah, maybe. Be very careful with it. It's coming. There we go. Alright, that thing's just completely stripped out. So we'll have to re-tap that for sure. There we go. Alright. So, ooh yeah, there's a piece of metal right here. Huh. Or if that chomped the stator here. The inside of the flywheel looks okay. So that's good. Flywheels are not cheap. Let's see if we can find our culprit here. Alright, that's cracked right here. Nothing looks too brown or anything. Green wire is connected. Huh. Not seeing any major damage to anything going on behind here. So plate looks good behind there. There's the cam chain off. So far I'm really not seeing too much damage. Alright, we just removed this little stopper plate there. Behind here is this little black sleeve. See, we're gonna take a razor blade and just cut that back. See if any of these wires are cut in here. Wires all look good. Nothing's broken or frayed. So all those wires are intact here. Alright, we're just going to test these wires just one more time, just to make sure we're not getting a reading here before we go ahead and purchase a new stator, because they are not cheap for this model. Let's see if we get a reading. Green. Brown is right here. And you can see absolutely zero reading. And then there's going to be pink to green. So there's pink right there. Zero again. Alright, now we're going to take off all the tape and just see if there's a break in any of the wires. Alright, so we stripped all the heat shrink. None of the wires are broken or anything, so it's not that. That pink one right here, you can see I cut that with the scissors accidentally. But the rest of them were good. I even tested continuity from down here to here and we were good. That rip in there must have caused it to fail. So I'm guessing that piece of metal that was stuck in there got chipped up in there and wrecked that. Fried the coil. So we are going to check over the rest of the bike, make sure that's good before we order up this, so we can order up more parts if we have to. It looked like there was water in the bottom end, so should be interesting. Let's check it out. Alright, so we're off to a really bad start with this bike. We're already over $200 into repair costs, so let's see what else we can find wrong with this thing. So oil drain plug, I believe, is right there. So let's get that out and see if there's any oil in here. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot because we took the side cover off and nothing's coming out. 12 millimeter. There might not be any oil in this thing. A couple drops. That's why we're gonna check out the filter too. But there's also a spot on the frame right up here. So let's take that off. Let's see if there's anything in here. Nothing, empty. Okay, let's see if we undo the dipstick. Sometimes if you let air in there, nope. So there's absolutely no oil in here. Chunks in here. Oh, there's oil in it. But there's water in the oil. Looks like. Let's see what this filter looks like. Kind of scared to look. Oh boy. Looks like a brand new filter, doesn't it? See if there's any metal chunks. So far I'm not seeing any. Oh yeah, there's some. There's some metal flakes in there. Huh. Oh, look at that. A lot. That's great. Look at that. Bunch of them. So I'm wondering if the previous owner, yeah, look at all that, never cleaned it out after the rebuild. I wonder if it blew up and look at that. I'm wondering if it blew up and he never cleaned out the bottom end or something, or maybe he just drained the oil because it did blow up and then just sold it like that. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of metal in there. Clutch looks like here. Clutch doesn't look too bad. Clutch basket all looks good. So hopefully Hopefully bottom end is fine. We'll test compression too. Make sure that's all good. Now we can get these lines off here. Breather hose. Yeah, okay. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Cam chain's nice and tight. That's a good sign. No metal chunks up here or anything like that. Cam lobes look good. Look good. I'm looking through all there. Yeah, everything looks pretty decent up here. Alright, compression tester going in. To me it feels like there's a bunch of compression, but we'll see. Do throttle open here. Alright, here we go, throttle open. We'll just kick away. Holy man. That is some good compression. At least it feels like it. I can barely even kick it. Holy God. Must be a boudin. Oh. Where are we at? Not even over 100 yet. What the heck? Huh. We're stuck at 80 pounds of compression. What the heck? Wonder if the valve clearances are off. That's weird. Well, something's not right. We're only getting 80 pounds of compression. I'm guessing the valves are tight. So let's get this thing to top dead center. Get this flywheel back on here. Just temporary. We're not going to bolt it down or anything. Make sure the woodruff key is in place. Just put one bolt in. There we go. see it's the single line matched up with the 2 notches in the case. You can see there's 2 double lines, so you want to go with the single line there. Hopefully you guys can see that. And up here, cam sprockets, everything looks perfectly in time. You can see dot right there, dot right there, dot right there, dot right there. These are parallel with the surface of the head here, so timing's good. Valve clearances for the WR400 is going to be intake 6 thousandths to 8 thousandths. And then exhaust is going to be 10 thousandths to 12 thousandths. So let's check these out. Alright, intake valves are perfect. Slides right in. So valves are good. Huh. Wonder why we're getting such low compression. There's no decompression mechanism except for the one on the handlebar. So we should be getting great compression, but we're not. That's really weird. Timing's on and valves are spot on. Well, I'm not liking this too much. We have only 80 pounds of compression, and the decompression mechanism, the cable, isn't too tight, so I know that's not malfunctioning. So I'm thinking it's just a bad top end. So I think what we're gonna do, just because I want to see the bottom end as well, is take apart the top end and see what's going on. I think that's the best thing to do, because I don't think this thing was rebuilt. So, unfortunately, this whole thing's coming apart. Let's get this carb out. There we go. Yeah, I don't think this carb's ever been taken off. There's gas in it. Cam chain tensioner is working. So we're all tight. It's really tight. No unusual wear. This cam out. Cam looks good. Bearing feels good. You can see the lobes are all perfect. There we go. No wear on those at all. Alright, we'll just drop the cam chain down. Drain this coolant out of here. That one's pretty tight. First one didn't feel very tight. Chain guide coming out. Ooh. Valves look pretty good. Those don't look too bad. Piston looks a little rough. Alright, at least have the crank be good. Piston doesn't look very good. Cylinder doesn't look horrible. Not all scratched up or anything, not too bad. Couple little scratches on there. Let's see what the piston looks like here. Piston rings are free. That's amazing. Bottom end is good. Rod has no play up and down. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Alright, let's get that piston off and then we'll take a look and measure that piston up. We'll probably just throw a new piston in there right away. Wonder why this thing was such low compression. Alright, get a little closer look at the crank here. Yep, zero up and down play. Looks like the stock crank. Yeah, that all looks good. We got the piston off over here. None of the rings were stuck or anything like that. Alright, let's see if the rings were on the right way first. Take this one off. Now we're looking for a letter on the top here. Or on the bottom. Must have been worn off, I can't see anything. So, we'll check the beveled edge here. Yep, so that was installed the correct way. Let's see what the ring gap is on this one. Doesn't look bad. We'll get the second ring off. You can see the N right there on this one, so this ring was installed correctly. And we'll get the oil rings off too right away. So piston might be good. $14,000s. Nice tight ring gap for the first ring. Second ring going in. This one looks a little bigger than 14. Maybe 16, 17 thousandths. Let's try 17. Bigger than 17. Okay. 20 thousandths. So that's definitely on the bigger side for that ring. So second ring is way more worn than the first. Let's just check the cylinder for scratches here. Alright, I was looking at the cylinder again at the bottom here, and I was just rubbing it up and down like this, and there's like a little ridge right there actually. Right here. You can like feel it. It dips up then back down. It's really weird, and then it's not over here. See that? It like smooths out, and there's a ridge right there. So I wonder if this cylinder is bad. Yeah, right there, there's a big ridge. So that might be why we have lower compression. So valves look good. I'm not seeing any pitting or anything on the head here. See what they're running for shims in here. So it's a pretty standard size, it looks like. If it was really, really thin, I'd be worried, but it doesn't look too thin. This one's good too. That one's good. Yep, that one's good. That one you need the decompression mechanism out to get to, but yeah, all those are going to be fine. Yeah, we'll take all those valves out and make sure they're not bent, but they don't look like it. Everything else looks good. Flywheel looks good. Valves look good. So I think we're going to get kind of lucky here and only have to spend $500 on it. If it was a bottom end rebuild as well, we probably have over $1,000 into this thing. So I think we're going to get lucky and only have to replace a couple things here. And it does shift through all the gears. There's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So that's good too. So I think the transmission's fine. The Stator didn't look that bad, but I'm guessing it had to be the problem. So if anyone has a used Stator in working condition for this bike, let me know in the comments. I'd buy it from you. So next video we will rebuild this thing and hopefully ride it for the first time. It will be interesting to see if we have spark after installing that new stator, if we can find one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video of the picking up, the diagnosing of the no spark situation, and then the tear down on the engine. Everything looked pretty good on the top end, so I'm optimistic that once we get this thing put back together with a new piston, new cylinder, and a stator, we should be up and running. But we will find out in next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next one. And until next time, we are out.